Okay, welcome back. So in the previous video, we were just doing an introduction to this functionality that I have here. And what we're going to do now is jump into the code and look at the code that was created. And we're doing this from the perspective of let's go into a refactoring process and turn what has been generated into a cleaner version of it, because there were some choices that are made that from experience, I do not care for. We'll get into this. So let's just go into the code and we'll explain why these sorts of changes might be necessary. So a quick tour of the code. I had both the front end and the back end in this project. And so far this has worked out okay. The back end is written in Rust. So partly in doing this, I'm trying to have a multi-language, sort of a multimodal system where we have Rust and JavaScript, and doing this for several reasons. One is just to give it a more of a challenge to work with. How do we deal with multiple languages? In this case, a lot of the types are using what do they call it? TSRS to convert Rust types into TypeScript types like this automatically. That's been fantastic. That's worked out really well. The front end is based off of Vite, a React-based system. I looked at using Leptos or other types of applications, ended up using Vite. We're picking a technology. I think from the front end point of view, using Rust or using React is the right way to go, even though I would prefer a different type of a language. The ecosystem is such that this is kind of the right way to go at this moment. Back end being Rust, again, I think this is the right way to go from the point of view of language technologies. This old AutoCAM was some old code that I brought in. I wanted to bring it into the context so that it could integrate it back in. I'll be deleting this probably now. Projects, this is just sort of the database that's worked, that it will work with. So this is the sort of the core layout of the system. Kind of the evolution of this was I started with the front end. I said, let's create a Vite application. It ran all the scripts. Somewhere I probably have the full chat that was done. Created the back end. Actually, I think I created the back end in a separate project and then merged the two together, because in this experiment, I wanted to have them both together. There's certainly reasons why we would want to have it be in completely separate projects so that the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. I'm curious to sort of do that, to say, well, let's merge this together and then we're going to split it apart. I'm sort of a big fan of being able to have not a mono repo, but smaller projects to sort of force isolation between different contexts. If you need to see the whole application in order to do the work, then the interfaces aren't well defined. If you have the whole application available for editing, that means none of it's done. So there are different, not at this stage of development, but probably just around the corner here, that's what I would want to do, is to be able to split this into individual projects and have sort of that logical separation of concerns so that you're able to do the work in a code base that needs to be mutable right now, and to be able to have code bases that are sort of immutable, meaning that it's done, and the drive from a mutable state to an immutable state is the goal. and you should have very little part of your code that is actually mutable because you have completed the work on something. But that's we're going beyond what I want to do here. I do want to try to keep these videos compact. So this video right here is going to be just sort of this intro walkthrough of the framework. Again, I didn't I did one refactoring in this, and that was to pull the handlers out into their own file, so that actually main is not, well, I'll go into that in the next video of what I did for the first refactoring phase, and then we'll go into the next refactoring phase after this. So the next video should be, what are we doing for refactoring? How is that done? And yeah, let's keep these videos short. You can skip ahead as you need to. See you in the next video.